Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar, part of our ongoing series of webinars on Microsoft Information Protection. And today we're going to be talking about extending Microsoft Information Protection solutions with high-value third-party solutions. Most of you are familiar with the Microsoft Information Protection stack and what Microsoft does in this space. And our objective is to allow you to protect all your sensitive data anywhere, everywhere. And we built a solution with that in mind. It is a very sophisticated solution composed of multiple components from the core data classification services and MIP labeling service and protection components, all the sensitive information types that we provide, sensitivity labels across applications and containers, integrated natively with Office 365 and all the applications that you care about in the Office 365 system, such as Exchange, Teams, SharePoint, and the like. Working on all platforms, Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, etc. Integrate with other Microsoft applications and services, such as the Cloud Application Security solution to protect data in other kinds of services, such as third-party cloud services. The AIP scanner to ensure that we have good coverage on premises. Things like endpoint DLP integrated with MIP, so you get the best of labeling, protection, and DLP in your endpoints. The newcomer to this Azure Purview to protect structured data in Microsoft Cloud and in third-party clouds. And integration with both Microsoft and third-party applications and services such as advanced discovery, insider risk management, communication compliance, and many more things. So we provide a fairly complete solution. But no matter how much we strive to do that, we will never have a complete solution without the help of our partners, because there are scenarios that actually work better if a partner implements them. And this is true for spaces that have been highlighted by our customers as things that we needed to do, but that will be hard for us to do, or it's simply not something that we have put the necessary focus today. So we are relying on our partners to ensure that we have these solutions in the market. Thanks, Micah. And with that, we hand it over to Cognni. Clifford and Goy, the floor is yours.
Indeed, thank you very much. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're located. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, and thank you to the Microsoft team for inviting us to present. As a very quick intro, my name is Clifford and I head up the business development team here at Cognni, and joining me today is Guy Eisdorfer, who is a co-founder and the CEO. So the goal of this webinar is to introduce you to a limited number of specific high-value solutions identified by Microsoft that enhance the power of MIP by extending MIP's capabilities beyond the common practice, with the aim of making the life of the client easier, and this is why we are here. I want to start off by telling you what Cognni isn't, and that is, we're not a cybersecurity company. Cognni is an AI company operating the cybersecurity and compliance space. MIP themselves provides comprehensive protection of your information assets across your IT environment. And this is largely based around information discovery, looking at regex, regular expressions such as social security numbers, or a common terms, let's say something like termination of employment. And it does this very well. But with customer centricity at the very core of what we do, Cognni has taken that information discovery to a whole new level by becoming the first company to add information intelligence. And what's more, we do it autonomously in the background with no involvement necessary. Imagine how much simpler the life of a CISO would be if all the organization's information assets were identified, mapped out, and classified automatically. And this is the real holy grail for an organization, to know where all their important information resides, who has access to it, and for it to be classified and labeled without any additional effort required. And these are the pain points that Cognni solves. So at this point, I want to pass it over to Guy, who's going to continue the presentation and give you a small demo of what we can do. Guy, over to you.
Thank you very much, Clifford. Hi, everyone. My name is Guy Eisdorfer, and today I really want to show you how we are unleashing the power of MIP with an addition of information intelligence. So as you can see here, and Clifford mentioned before, we are an AI company. We develop a platform that understand really what information is important to your business. And we really have a goal as a company, which is taking the InfoSec and put it on autopilot, helping the InfoSec to do their job as much as we can. And we really do that by taking MIP to places it haven't been before. So we created a solution to complement the regular information that MIP finds today. So MIP does an amazing job finding all your social security numbers with Redex and common phrases to find your credit card numbers, personal information, and GDPR to tag that information. And we also understand that, especially where we live in the virtual world today, because we can't meet face to face, the information that's important to your organization really become the lifeblood of every organization. We need to collaborate and share, because without collaboration and sharing, we won't be able to sustain our business, definitely in these times of the year. So we also understand that important information is divided between the regular information, which you can classify the sensitivity of it with MIP, but you can also extend it to understand what's important business information you have in your company. You have legal information, you have HR information, or financial information. You want to understand that these files that contain credit card numbers, maybe it's the company's P&L, or maybe it's the company's employment agreement. And this is what we've done here in Cognni. We understand that we can take MIP and make it think like a human being without involving any of your business users, no interruption whatsoever. So we do it by, firstly, we automate the mapping of your important information. So autonomously, we map important information like financial information, legal, HR, and governance. We understand inside Teams, SharePoint, your Exchange, your OneDrive, your local servers. We understand where is the information and what is that information. And once we do it without any involvement of the business users, now we automatically apply those specific sensitivity levels to your important information. So you will be able to protect and manage the access with MIP to all your important information. So imagine right now you open a document and you already have inside a label that says that this is a legal information, and we understood that it's actually legal letter, right? We understand the topic of that letter because you have a P&L of specific company. You have an employment agreement for Guy. And at the same time, we're adding those sensitivity levels right into MIP without anybody needs to do anything. So let's go inside MIP and see how it works. So if we're looking at the security and compliance here, you can see under the labels that we automatically injected sensitivity labels related to your business information. You can see, for example, what we found when we scanned the information under HR, and we tag those files, and you can see which files you have related to different types of employee information, employment termination, and so on. Which files related to your financial information. You understand what is it? Those files contain financial information regarding salaries, tax authorities, and so on and so on. So we've broken it down, and then you have the ability also to, in data classification, to understand where is it. You want to know what to protect. So you can see here that the top sensitivity label that we applied autonomously into your content. And so let's go ahead and drill down and see what we found here. We found different type of sensitivity label that relate to HR, legal, HR requested forms. So let's say legal agreements. Once you click on that with the data classification content explorer, now you have the option to understand that it's in your SharePoint. Go ahead and protect that. And what's nice, as Enrique showed you in the beginning, with MIP, you can also now go and implement MCAS. And once you do it in MCAS, for example, we can automate now the invoke of policies, and we can show you, for example, inside MCAS, how we're closing autonomously different activities. But what I would really want to show you next is what happens when you implement Cognni. So on the back end, as you saw, we map all the information, we put all the labels automatically to the business important information, and now in MIP, Cognni did all the job for you. So implementation in MVP gets shortened, and creation of policies get very in a very simple manner. And at the same time, with the added value of Cognni with MIP, once we map the information, you have now a whole mapping of files that containing that information, folders that containing that information, so you know exactly what to protect. Which employees have access to your financial information, for example, from which data sources we got connected, which organizations were exposed to your financial HR information, which external contacts. And in one click, you can see, for example, we have a lot of clients that says we want to monitor our financial information, understand if we have risk and what we need to protect. One click, you go and you see which employees have access to your financial information and what's in a risk. So I can click, for example, on Emily here, and I can see all the files that Emily has access to, what's the level of sensitivity that we define, and also what the information type. At the same time, you can get insights on Emily and say, okay, so Emily took financial information. Which employees received that information from Emily? Which employees she sent them that information? What kind of HR information she is exposed to? What kind of financial information she's exposed to? What risk she creates for me. And then we detect the risk that create in your organization autonomously. And you can see, for example, risk that you have to your HR. You can drill down and see all the risks that you have, for example, to your recruitment forms. We can click on that and see what's in risk, who it was exposed to, and which files it was exposed to. And again, you can go ahead and get all the recruitment information on what type of risk you have here, and what happened, which organizations were exposed to it. So you can click right here and see they have 2 organizations that were exposed to my recruitment information. And I can click on one of them, see who exposed that and what files were exposed to it. So this is how we actually created a platform that it runs autonomously without involvement of the business users, understands by itself what is the information, if it's in risk, and then it's connecting the dots, so autonomously it will go into MIP, inject the right labels, add them inside, and then you can be able to go and drill down, do the right protection, because if you want to protect something, you need to have the right understanding of the events, the meaning of those events, and what's really important for you. So our goal is to clear the noise, cut the human interference, and automate everything back into MIP, so you can take MIP and use it the right way, and use it in the right way to protect your information.